Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There is a load of work going into new star systems for Star Citizen in 2021, so today I wanted to talk about that, what work's going into these star systems beyond the current Stanton system that we have in-game, and what could we potentially see by the end of 2021, although a lot of this is much more likely to come to fruition in 2022, but by the end of 2021, we might see some of it, and we'll at least see bits of it inside Star Citizen, and we should see Cloud Imperium actively showing these things off. So what's currently on the roadmap, what's receiving work, what can we expect? So expected to be the next major system, and potentially coming by the end of 2021, along with server meshing, is Pyro. So the Pyro system is a pirate stream, unlike the Stanton system, which it's connected to, which is much more security orientated, or at least has security and defenses. Pyro is much more akin to the Wild West. Really, it's like a pirate and outlaw den, though, rather than the Wild West. Wild West would suggest that anyone can sort of like do anything, and there's nowhere really people there to sort of like help you. But this is much more of a, well, actually, it's inhabited by lots of outlaws and pirates and might be a lot more dangerous than the Wild West. It's where Xenothreat incursions technically come out of and return to, and expect general sort of pirate incursions to come out of there and affect the economy and affect the Stanton system quite heavily. Throughout the year, Pyro is getting work done to its foundation, getting it in a functional state and all the missions hooked up, all the planets completed. There is work for adding small rundown rest stop stations to the Pyro system, which will provide basic services and use limited interiors, not so much of the rest stops that we've got in the Stanton system at the moment. These are going to be much more automated, it seems. The major landing zone here is Ruin Station as well, which is getting work. Once a mining platform operated by Pyrotechnic Amalgamated until it was abandoned and overrun by pirates and outlaws. Ruin Station is a highly dangerous location frequented by feuding gangs and outlaws. Although the system is an outlaw one, expect the stations there, especially Ruin, to have defense turrets and potentially a makeshift security force protecting those that are landing and doing business there. I mean, it's possible that it doesn't, but I would suggest that they probably have their own form of security and laws in the area. They are adding the Akiro cluster as part of Pyro, basic grouping and cluster of dangerous charred asteroids, which are mostly worthless apparently according to lore, though there are going to be some rare materials available to be found there. It looked like they were retconning some of the Pyro system as well, to be a bit more risk-reward, a good amount of mining and stuff going on there. Along with this, there's also going to be work going into sharp angular asteroids and new assets for the Pyro system and its various asteroid fields. We know that they're working towards finishing out the Pyro planets and moons too, and they're even working on the mighty Pyro crab. So we're not sure we're going to get that in the game. Is it going to be with the initial launch of Pyro? Very unlikely. Jump points are something else that's getting a lot of work through 2021, linking first Stanton to the Pyro system, but then opening up to a lot more systems in the future. The jump points need functionality and gameplay associated with them, but also the areas around them need spacescaping, so defenses, maybe a rest stop, things like that. On the roadmap, we also have work to the Nyx system, so moving away from Pyro, the system that's connected to Pyro, the Nyx system. So that's currently planned to see work on planets 1, 2, and 3 for the Nyx system. Beyond that, we actually know very little. We already have Delamar as a location with Levski on in-game. So that location, Delamar and Levski, they are moving to the Nyx system, and it is supposed to be there. It's just sort of chilling out in Stanton at the moment, but once Nyx is complete, it will move over there. So there's a lot more going on, though, beyond just those two systems, and it's expected that Cloud Imperium, at least by me, are building towards the Odin system. So Stanton to Pyro to Nyx to Odin. And with that in mind, there's a load of work going on in the Odin system. Now, this is Squadron 42 work for the most part, but the Odin system should appear in the Persistent Universe at some point, and that makes a lot of sense because it's getting so much work. So we know that a good portion of the player's time, if not most of the player's time is going to be spent in the Odin system for Squadron 42, and I suspect it will be the most fleshed out system other than the Stanton system when it's actually released into that persistent universe. A huge amount of work has gone into the Odin system already, but throughout 2021 there's a load more. We're getting work on Archon Station, the mighty mining base that was shown in the Squadron 42 vertical slice, and in fact a lot of what we're going to talk about was shown in very early stages in the vertical slice. This is a massive mining facility located near the coil, and it's absolutely ridiculous in size, kilometers and kilometers wide. Probably the biggest station we've seen in game by some magnitude. This is also a good segue as well. It's near the coil. The coil is getting a lot of work. This is basically an exploded planet, the coil, and it's sort of crossed with a nebula and combines space weather and lightning and gas clouds, as well as large chunks of planet in an interesting yet deadly huge location where pirates hide, and there's likely going to be good mining and harvesting opportunities here as well. Originally the coil was Odin 1, but it exploded. It's sort of one of the locations we're expecting to see the most advanced use of gas cloud tech, or at least the most refined use of it, because they've been working on that and the sign distance field stuff for that for quite a long time. Odin 1A, Gainy. It had a moon, Odin 1. That moon still exists and remains near its parent, where its parents' remains are. There is a chemline abandoned extraction facility on there as well, so both those, the moon and that chemline extraction facility and the space around it, are all getting work. The facility itself has since been occupied by the OMC pirate group though, and there's also a breaker's yard that is hidden deep within Odin 1's remains that is getting worked on too. So lots and lots and lots of these cool, interesting, some of them unique locations for Squadron 42, but we should see a lot of this in the persistent universe. Whether it's the exact same locations, maybe they've been destroyed by the time we actually get to them, maybe their assets will be spread around the verse and used for other things, but we could also see these facilities remain and actually get a lot of use. We've seen the Assidio Com array in some detail now, but that's continuing to receive a lot of work throughout 2021. It's an abandoned station that's again been taken over by pirates, at least in Squadron 42 it has, but yeah, it's a big sort of radio antenna and broadcast dish, I suppose, but since been abandoned, decommissioned. There's also work on the Odin outer system, whatever that means exactly, I'm not entirely sure, but it does look to me like the Odin system is going to be mostly built for Squadron 42 and potentially even Star Citizen needs by the end of the year. Now, it's not likely to actually be implemented in the persistent universe until after Squadron 42 comes out, and until there's actually a full link between sort of Stanton to Pyro to Nyx to Odin, so all these systems are sort of connected, and that isn't something likely to happen before the end of 2022, but let's wait and see. There is a lot of general gameplay content as well. They're working on station assets and generally the tools that are used to build out space stations, star systems, all that sort of jazz. There's new biomes and location updates for planets and points of interest. This includes derelicts and organics on planets too. Actually, organics is something I'm pretty excited about. They're working on touch blending and more in-depth flora with plants that bend and flex as a player or object moves past them, and this could lead to the ability to track players or creatures through these areas as well, but that will allow for big cornfields and farm fields and alien weird plants and some cool stuff like that. Long grass. We know that they're working on water-based gameplay to some extent as well, though we don't know the gameplay that's going to be associated with it in the short to medium term. They have talked about boats. To me, it looks like Pyro and Odin could be mostly complete for the game's basic needs by the end of 2021. I would expect that Nyx needs a bit more work, and it's very possible that Odin will need a bit more work before it's ready for the persistent universe. That said, there is literally a new studio headed by Turbulent that's working on Star Citizen's star systems and planets. It might take them a little while to get up to speed though. They plan to have 100 plus devs, I believe, within the next 3 years, but we don't really know about their activities in 2021 yet, and what they're working on, how many devs are already there, that sort of stuff. How many devs are already focused just on working on gameplay area, and we are hoping to see the roadmaps expand out somewhat, and that will show us a little bit more about what Cloud Imperium are working on and how many teams are working on that, and we should get that by the end of January. There have been rumours that Cloud Imperium are working on some more star systems beyond this as well. Magnus, Terra, even Vega, and I suspect that some of that is true to some extent. Cloud Imperium are building new assets and building tools for lots of different systems even now. There are dedicated teams working on creatures and new tech and anomalies, but they also need a lot of other bits to come together before these features are shown on the roadmap. Towards the end of January, we're going to see a bit more on that roadmap. Hopefully we'll see Pyro and the jump point connecting into it and the server meshing stuff all coming online by the end of the year. Only time will tell. Is it optimistic? Potentially. I'm hoping it's very possible that we could see it by the end of the year, though, and I think that's what I'm hoping on, but we'll have to wait and see. But what do you think? Are you excited for what's being worked on during 2021 for the new star systems? Do you think the plan is to have Stanton to Pyro to Nyx to Odin as the first 4 star systems in game? What do you think will come out by the end of 2021? Do you think the initial Pyro release will be there? Do you think they're going to have Pyro releasing in sort of stages iteratively? That sort of probably makes sense. Whatever your thoughts, though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's January, and to start the new year, I am giving away 5 ships with game packages to 5 lucky commenters on my videos. So we've got the 100i, the 125a, the 135c, the Talon, and the Shrike, all up for grabs with, as I said, game packages and lifetime insurance. Just comment on any of my videos made during January to be in for a chance of winning those. Hey you! Do you not like having all your data stolen? How about your browser history? Do you want some random dude on the internet to know all of that? 1 second, I'm just watching some dank memes, as if I'm from America. But I'm from the UK. What am I using to do that? Well, it's NordVPN. It might save your life, though I can't think of any scenario right now that it would. Links below for a discount. Not only do I shill for Nord, but I also shill for Shadow Cloud Gaming, basically an internet-based alternative to having a gaming PC. It's a monthly subscription, very affordable, and they've got a load of cool hardware options coming in the very near future. It's available in a large portion of the world, so check that out. Again, links below for discount. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the verse. Say goodbye to everyone, Zin.
Goodbye to everyone.